Welcome to another episode of Comedians Chopping It Up. I'm Jay Bliss. I got three of my boys with me right now, comedians I've met throughout the years and doing comedy, man, on the screen. We got Lab Love out of Atlanta, GA. First time we met was in Columbia, South Carolina at the Comedy House. We tore the stage down, did our thing. Also on the screen is my boy, Lazy Lamont King out of DC, the DMV area. Met him in 50 Comics Deep in Columbia, South Carolina. Both times, we got Lab and we got Lamont, and all of us got cheated out of contests. Yeah. Two separate contests, yes. 2 separate times, and it was like, and then I got my man Hank Denson out of Atlanta, GA. Met him at the Punchline, and we've been friends ever since. And that's a good brother to know. If you're talking about making some money and you're talking about doing anything different in this comedy game, Hank is a dude to know. So I appreciate y'all joining in, man. We're gonna talk about this. What have y'all been doing with the pandemic? I know we kind of coming out of it, but are y'all about to get kicked out of y'all house, or is everything cool?
Lab is put out already.
Right.
I see that. I see that. So
hey, what you're not gonna do is judge me right there. Don't judge me.
Lab was like, I'm going to Walmart. No, you're not. We know what this is.
Right. I'm bringing about change. That's what I'm out here doing. I'm out here bringing about change. I changed addresses. That's what I did. Yes.
So now you've done gigs, right? You've done gigs, right, Hank?
Yeah. So I just did Off the Hook, Naples, Florida this weekend. 6 shows.
How? Comedy is open again?
Bro, like, let me tell you, man.
You really do know how to find the money.
I told you.
Yeah. What it is the clubs want to figure out a way to get their feet back into the game. And like Coco Brown is going next week. Rip Michaels went the week before me. Shows had 100 people per show. The room is a 300-seater. Mm-hmm. And, they pushed them back 10 feet from the stage, 7 feet apart. It looks like a Vegas show. They steamed everybody at the door. They checked my temperature, everybody's temperature. All the staff has 5 N95 masks. What else did they do? Microphones. Like, I came with my own mic. All my, they had a stand, but I said I don't want to use the same mic as anybody. And then it was a 2-man show. And, the deals is what's the problem. The deal is, they trying to get us with, we hurting.
Yeah, right.
Can we take the deal?
Half the price because half the crowd and all that.
I said I need guaranteed money.
Right.
This door deal don't even make sense, because if you go somebody at the door and half of them got a fever, there's no door deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
But in turn, as comedians, we need to understand what we can do. Like, we at home now, and I'm saying my money's good, but I'm at the house and I'm just like, what is going to be our new niche? What is it going to be? I developed 3 podcasts since I've been home. I'm doing teacher talks, content. I got a sneaker podcast. All that's good. I'm selling merchandise from the house.
You that dude? I told you. Like, Hank know how to get some money.
I got my son doing a book on gaming and nutrition. Like, everybody's getting in. Like, all it is, we LLC, we export some stuff. We moving things around. And I'm like, now is the time to own content. Like, if you were sitting at home and you didn't get no download money, this is the new time. Like, this Zoom right here, he can rip the audio.
Right.
Okay.
It'll be an hour. This is podcast. So he can clickbait all this stuff, put it on Instagram, Facebook, and then take the audio and put it on on podcast from his house.
Right.
And then and that's 10 episodes you could just do here. So just getting out doing the shows, I needed to know what that piece is going to be. Like, is that somewhere I'm going to go get my money, or do I need to go kick it in gear at home more? What is going to be the balance? And that was the safest place that I felt that I could go to, because the owner has OCD. He a real germy dude. Anywhere else where they just like, I don't care. I'm like, nah. Whatever I told him, I said, I need a different hotel. I don't want to stay there no more. When I get there, I'm not coming inside. So set up something outside for me. I don't even want to come in the building until I'm performing. Tell the staff I bagged up all my merchandise. So give me somebody that's going to handle my merchandise and my squares and my stuff. The hotel get down is the same thing I've been doing, because I got germ issues, so I'm taking sheets off the bed and I'm paying them.
That comedy condo shit is dead. That's
yeah.
Oh yeah, man. I don't know how they're gonna do that, bro. Yeah, so let me ask you this. Hank. So what about, because I think my first gig is the weekend of the 19th.
Mm-hmm.
So what'd you do about the microphone?
Bring you a microphone.
You brought your own?
Talk to a sound guy that's there. So it's comparable. Get you some mic covers. Right. And then every time I got up, they clean the microphone. I don't want to use the same mic as nobody else. I don't care what the feature and the host do, but my microphone, I don't want nobody else's stuff on it. That's cleaned down. I have this alkaline, like Kangen water at 2.5. It's just as good as bleach or anything else, but it doesn't sell as bleachy. I give them that, wipe my mic down. This is some of the stuff I unpack. And I make little stuff of this. I'm like, wipe my stuff down. It sounds crazy, but no, it don't.
No, it don't. It don't.
No, it don't.
No, it sound goddamn crazy. Yes, it sounds it do.
Lab, let me ask you.
People only treat you how you tell them to treat you.
Right, Lab. So let me ask you, Lab. Well, all right. So, do you have any gigs lined up?
Okay, so let me answer this question this way. So since I'm getting my unemployment,
right?
I don't have any gigs lined up.
I don't have any gigs right now.
Right.
It would have been nice to have had a gig 2 weeks ago in Oklahoma. And I think if I would have had a gig last week in Oklahoma, how I think it could have gone. I think they could have had a 30%, a 60% room capacity, selling 130 seats per show. The entire staff wearing gloves and masks. Tables, I think the room seats roughly like 380, would have sat 380, but it sat like 130, so it allowed for space for there to be roughly truly 6 feet, and people were required to sit with people they know, no strangers at the table.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
I'm a bad person with this. Like me and I would agitate the shit out of Hank because I'm not because I live life on the edge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. You stay right on over there, Lab. You stay right on the edge.
I live, but it ain't even about the germ thing. For example, you talking about a dude, I skydive, I'm a certified scuba diver, I ski, I mountain climb. So I do stuff where you can die on a regular basis.
I do that stuff too. But I want to be clean when I go.
Hank, you cannot wipe the mountain down. It does not work that way.
I want to do look like this. Anything I can control, right? I skydived before. I took scuba diving left. I even snowboard. I do all that stuff. But when it comes to me being, like right now, I was in COVID mode. So anybody I'm a PA. I used to be a PA in pediatric orthopedics. My wife does total knee.
Oh, that's a whole different story then. Yeah.
So we all in the brain of keeping stuff clean. And my father-in-law is in the house with us, and he's stage 4 cancer. So I'm just in that mind.
Yeah. Right.
I don't want
that's different.
Yeah,
you didn't ask me that. I'm giving you.
I thought you were saying this is what the club was doing. I was like, wow. Like I'm thinking.
Right. No, so Hank had what he was doing, but the club has their rules. But I was asking about like microphones and stuff like that.
All I was doing was the microphone and just staying outside and bagging my merchandise.
Now, is it on stage? Is it like plastic on stage or like?
No, they're not even doing like you just bag.
Can they laugh out loud? Can the people laugh out loud?
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird, dude. I was like, every time it would burst, I would be like,
"No, wait a minute."
I ain't trying to be that funny though. You know what I mean? Trying to be that. Yeah, it wasn't that funny. It wasn't, sir. It wasn't that funny. Don't laugh like that. It wasn't that funny.
I'm about to go to crowd work so I can make y'all laugh individually. I don't need y'all to laugh.
Yo, that's hilarious, man. So, Lamont, like it's not you haven't heard anything about gigs where you at?
No, listen. I ain't gonna lie. I really. I thought it wasn't open yet. I thought they wasn't sure how they was going to start making money. So I knew they was going to have to pivot because that industry will find the money. So they will find ways. I just didn't know people was booking right now.
Yeah, it started about 3 weeks ago, I think.
They
I
rely
started
on
seeing
black
people.
comedians more than they let on.
Experimenting, probably, yeah.
Now, I think if anything, we just need to be talking and be like, yo, don't take that rate. This is what they gave me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I wasn't even, pursuing dates. Because like Hank, man, hey man, you're a man after my own heart, man. I done launched 4 podcasts in here. I put Tiny Closet Studios on the map. I got a broadcast command center going. I'm trying to figure out ways to flip it from the crib. You know what I'm saying? Because a month ago, we didn't know what was happening.
Right.
I thought this was going to be indefinite. So you know what I'm saying?
I'm mad as hell. I'm jailed that he got Lab getting unemployment checks. Nobody didn't say nothing to me.
Let me tell you though.
Is that comedy unemployment?
It's the PUA. Yeah. Y'all know that. I got mine too. Yeah, I thought we talked about that.
Oh man, let me log off. This is the link.
I knew that.
Listen. Y'all are eligible. I will send you the information, and it will be retroactive once you get the paperwork through.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you'll get back pay, man.
Wait a minute, what, you prove your last gig or something?
No, all you have to do is show them that you're self-employed, and you've been self-employed for I don't know how long.
Right.
Self-employed. The state will tell you that you're not eligible for the full amount because you wasn't employed by an insured company.
Okay.
But the PUA is for people who lost their job or their way to create income with their self-employment through COVID. And it'll ask you on the questionnaire, well, in North Carolina did you lose your job because of COVID-19?
In Georgia, Hank, you in Georgia like me, that it will ask you if you're a gig worker or you're a performer. It'll literally ask you that. And let me say this too. Let me put you up on the business game. So I'm gonna give you brothers benefit of the doubt that you all have business licenses or are incorporated.
Yeah.
And if you have those one or any of those two things, first you need to apply for the disaster relief loan. That's free money. If you get the disaster relief loan, that's from the Small Business Association. That loan is forgiven as long as you can prove you used it for business purposes. So that's free money. Then you can
the same loan that dude got. He bought a Bentley and they got him.
No. I'm gonna get to that. So that's one loan. So then there's another loan you can get that's called the PPP loan. That's the loan you're talking about, the dude with the Bentley. Right. The PPP loan is the payroll protection loan. See, people think that you
employees.
No, slow down. So the thing about it is, you are an employee of your company.
Oh.
You are an employee of your company. So you, as long as you have a business license, you are eligible for the PPP loan. And with the PPP loan, you're like, well, I ain't got no employees to pay. Don't you make money for yourself every month? Don't you pay yourself? That's your salary. So you're eligible. You have a business license or you're incorporated. You are eligible for that. As long as now this is the thing about it. You have to have one or two things. You have to have a business relationship with a bank.
Okay.
And that business relationship can be you have a business account, or like me, I swipe credit cards to sell merchandise. So I have a merchant account with my credit card, who is Square. So I have a merchant account with them, and so Square literally sent me the paperwork. They say, hey, your business is eligible for the PPP loan. So that, and all that's free money.
Yeah, they ain't free shit.
Right.
Yeah, that's money.
Yeah.
So
can you do both? Can you do PUA and PP?
The PUA is separate from the loans.
So you can do both.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, see, this is one thing that I wish that we had as a community where we talk like this. So this is dope. This helped me. Well, put it like this: my wife, we weren't tripping, but this is gonna make me flex. I got a little bit more love in the house. I can get out of the
So there's some feedback somewhere.
Yeah, I think that might be me.
Okay. All right. He dropped off for a second, but yeah. So I thought you knew that already, Hank. I'm sorry I didn't, but I don't have a loan or anything like that. I did the unemployment part.
The unemployment is dope, but the loan was like I bought. Like the thing is, I want to do some more stuff here, And I could easily move some money out of my 401k or
Right.
swipe on these cards. But my wife is like, "What you doing? Like your checks that you was bringing in ain't the same." So
and my podcast, honestly, my podcast is way better once I found out about Zoom. Like to bring somebody on, like I can bring anybody I want on and just podcast with them or whatever. And I take the audio and I upload the audio onto my Podbean, and then it goes out to all the things, and then I take a clip and I use it as a commercial to promote it, which is dope.
Now, what do you use? Who do you use? You said Podbean?
Podbean, yeah, I use Podbean.
How much? It's a rate? It's a monthly?
Nah, I don't think mine is monthly no more. I think I pay like the year thing.
Have you noticed like your numbers going up since it's been the thing, since everybody?
Yeah, because my commercials are way better than it used to be. Like I used to just say, hey, my new episode is up, and I didn't care.
Right.
Then it's part of me is not really about who is all listening, but I do get email blasts saying you got this many listeners this month, which is up like 30% from last month, stuff like that. But it's more or less content. So it's like, what happens is you go out there, you do shows, and they say, "Oh, you got a podcast?" And then I go, "Yeah." They go, "Man, you were funny." And then all of a sudden, I got a new listener. They go and they listen to all the episodes. You know what I mean? So that's why I just keep putting episodes out. You know what I mean? I don't expect it to blow up and all of a sudden I'm Joe Rogan. But guess what? Sometimes it might happen like that. You never know.
But
you just don't know.
Well, anything that can feed your base. At this point, we. Like Lav's room, your room is it Macon? I came, Lav?
No, Columbus, Georgia.
Columbus. Yeah. That alone is a base. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Anytime you can control a base of people or a demographic, you are ahead of everybody. So all you do is just feed your. Even if you go to that same room every other week, you have a base. Yeah. And in that base, you can get those people to spend $1.99, and that carries. And you don't know who in that space knows other people. Right. So it has to constantly keep growing. You just have to be mindful to keep feeding it and give it some free stuff, do some, you know what I mean? Constantly. And then they'll be like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know he did that." Because I put 3 podcasts together. And how the podcast system works is if you have 3 different demographics, you can get marketing for all 3. And I'm only a producer on 2. One, it's actually me. So the teachers that I interview, they get a check for just being on it because they're part of it. The sneaker podcast, I shopped and I got Puma. Puma's gonna start doing me some sponsorship. And
I told you.
All I did was base it on what numbers I can touch and what my outreach was gonna be. But how I got there was they had the Sneaker Ball Atlanta. I'm just a sneakerhead. So I just talked to the girl. I'm like, "Yo, I want to be a part. What can you do?" She called me back and she's like, "Yo, you got teacher numbers? Aren't you doing stuff in the schools?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, our push is to do outreach and stuff in the schools." I said, "Okay." She made me an ambassador. Did the little photo shoot. I couldn't make the event. I break down if I'm going to help you do something, tell me it is you're doing if it's a fundraiser. Comedy always gonna get us in the door.
Yeah.
Touch while we in there. When she was like, "Well, I don't have any swag bags. I keep merchandise hookups. I can put bags on my order." She's like, "I need bags." I'm like, "Cool." Then I said, "What's your distribution like?" I'm like, "Where are you advertising?" Because I don't see it nowhere. She said, "We're trying to get on some major news network. I do daytime TV on NBC, and I know the community outreach chick." So I'm like, "Yo, it's a fundraiser. Give me the demographic. Give me what it is. It's a 50C or 501 or whatever." And I said, "All that information. Give me about 10 free tickets. I'll kick it to her. She's going to say it on NBC." I didn't do the event, but that put me in there like, "Yo, how this dude know this, and this?" Now I'm the executive of Sneaker Ball. Now I can touch any sneaker cats that I need to talk to in Atlanta because they all part of that thing. So when I do my sneaker podcast, I just hit them up and they like, "Yo," because I'm one of the executives. What we talking about, Hank? We talking about foot health today. We talking about merchandising. We talking about historic, and that's just me grabbing content.
Now, let me go back to the teacher one. You said you pay the teachers to be on your podcast?
So no, this is what happens is when you get these downloads, right, and you itemize it as writer, executive producer, all that, I give the teachers a writing credit. So they're a guest coming on my show. So when it breaks down to the residual through sound, what do you call it, sound exchange, all that. Yeah. Going in and they're getting a credit for being on the show. My push is I'm not even a teacher, so I'm always trying to go in and find how can I send money to the teachers for just being a part of something, because they're numbers.
Yeah, right.
I do 20 interviews with teachers all over the world. It's called Teacher Talk. Now, Bliss has done one of my Teacher Relief live tours. And the thing is, it's like at the end of it, I do a Q&A and it's called Teacher Talk. So the teachers get in their mind where it's Teacher Talk live, Teacher Talk recorded. Teachers have their own base. So teachers go back to the school. I did an interview on Facebook and they're going to be on the podcast. They tell everybody.
Right.
Those downloads all go to there. And then I'm like, when the money runs through, they get a check for being on the show.
Yeah,
sponsorship.
I got to talk to you offline, man, because this
dude, I'm telling you, that's the dude that know, man. Listen, like I say, I have conversations with Hank, and I go, man, I never thought of that way. You know what I'm saying? Like talk about Hank. Like we had the idea. We talked about. Remember, I told you the idea about doing the Cash App show.
I told you.
And it was before the pandemic. This was a year and or so before the pandemic happened. And I said, dude, if we can go to a comedy club and we can get everybody in for free. And tell the club, let everybody in the club, right? The club get the food in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
We go on stage and we perform. Nobody allowed in the club unless they got Cash App. You go on stage, you do your show, you tell the people, hey, y'all go ahead and break down what y'all would have paid for this show and divide it amongst the comedians y'all saw on stage tonight.
And that's entry. That's your entry fee.
That's your entry fee just to do that. Now, if you want to tip extra, you can, but don't tell me that comedians wouldn't get paid more than what this club is giving them. They would actually get paid what they're worth.
Definitely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Look, this is the crazy thing about it. I told him this. He said this 6-7 months ago. Yo, I was like, dude, don't let perfect get in the way of getting it done.
No, and the thing about it was, but I sent it. I typed an email to Cash App. I wanted sponsorship. You know what I mean? I was like, look, we can put your name on this, all this other thing. Y'all gonna get all the cash revenue or whatever going through y'all app. You know what I mean? And nobody got back to me. But let me go ahead.
Let me say this, Jay. One of the things, like, I'm just like the rest of y'all. I got a morning show.
Right.
I got 2 podcasts.
Yep.
I got a weekly web series,
which is funny as hell.
That you've been doing for years.
Let me give you this credit. The reason why I pushed like I did because I watched. You were one of the few comedians I knew.
Yes.
That had some new field content.
Yes.
I mean, like everybody else would do this, and it looked professional. You had graphics.
Yes. That weekly breakdown, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I mean, you was ahead of the game, I really, really wish you were way further ahead than you are right now. Like, I wanted that to be the most viral thing ever.
Sitting in the
time that you was putting it in every single week. It was coming out every week, and it wasn't never late. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The man is in the McLaren truck. He's still ahead of the truck.
Right. His car is running, but not running. Kind of.
Yeah. I know.
In fact, you know what? Lab is actually moving right now.
Yeah.
We got the Spike Lee joint, like, oh.
So and I still do the beatdown. It still comes out every week. But
Right.
what I did was what COVID did for me, because I'm like the rest of y'all, my business has always been pretty decent. So what I did was during the COVID-19, I figured, how can I do better business?
Okay.
How can I maximize the things that I do? So one of the things that I did, I took my content away from YouTube and I put it directly on my website.
Yeah.
So now everything is on my website. So now if there's revenue to be generated from my web series, it goes directly to me. See what I'm saying? So that's the thing about it. But in relation to the Cash App show, Jay, one of the things that these kids do that we have to get used to doing is, because we grown, we have a tendency to think things out.
Right.
But what, like Hank's, they just do. And that's what you got to do. You got to do it and figure it out as you're doing it. And in our head, that ain't how it's supposed to work.
Nah, because we come from a preparation standpoint.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
If you wait with the way we do it, because we want it to be perfect, if you wait, it ain't gonna get done. Just do it. Even if you do the first 3 and they terrible, what's gonna happen is you're gonna learn how to do the 4th one perfect.
That's right. That's right.
So just start doing them, Jay. It don't matter. go to the Comedy Zone and just say, hey, this is what I want to do on Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever, and then just run it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if you don't do it, then I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna just bring you in. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man. I don't listen. I can only be in one city at a time. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's not my idea where I go, oh, it's mine. You can't do it. Look, man. I'm with everybody eating. I don't care if you eat. If you find out a better way to do something, and I'll be like, well, I'm gonna do that in Charlotte. Then that's just what it is. I don't have a problem sharing any idea that I have. Just like Hank got 1,000,001 ideas in a book. I guarantee you. And I talk to him all the time, man.
Everything's not my lane. You know what I mean?
Like, right.
Like I don't talk news, politics, because that's not my lane.
Right.
You know? Like I learned how. Put it like this. I take from a lot of people around me. Lab was one of the first dudes that I saw in Atlanta when I moved here that was business, respectful, clean, doing what he had to do business. I ain't never see him smoking no weed, drinking. It was more or less like, and then whatever you said to him, I'm a grown man first. That's comedy, but I'm a grown man. Let's handle this like adults. And
exactly.
I kind of knew okay, look, this business is going to be here. Atlanta's growing as a culture. So I was like, let me touch everything that has anything to do with the culture. That's how I got into NASCAR. I did NBA entertainment for 10 years. That helped me with all the marketing mind because I wasn't going to be, put it like this, you don't got to be the funniest. You just got to be interesting. And
right.
Interesting, people stop and they listen. And the whole thing about being interesting is when you have a lot of tools in your toolbox that gets you in the room. So when the conversations pop off, I know how to put funny in that. And I may not be standing them up, shut. That's cool, but my tickets sell. I can move merchandise, and I get into meetings for content development. And when it comes down to that, my wife don't care nothing about anything else. She's clear about the residual and our destiny and how our family's gonna get paid. She don't think none of this is funny. My wife does surgery, so she's like, the doctor's office is hiring. So anytime you feel like you don't know what to do, you can always go fix some wrists, and you know how to do that. And that process of what we're doing is we need to share it with each other. Just like right now, I'm gonna drop this on y'all. We're sharing this on Facebook, right?
Right.
Facebook has a room just like this.
Yeah.
You can do it on there yourself.
Now,
The thing about it is they set up a cash system and it's new. So you can do 50 people in it, 16 on the first page and set it up how you want, time it, whatever. I'm gonna do a comedy show on it. No one's touching them. Everybody's doing Zoom, so it's like cool, and it does the same process, all that other stuff. And then the thing is, Instagram and Facebook are set together so that clickbait is easier to throw out from a Facebook room.
Right. So to create room the idea I have is to place categories on there. So you can place categories on there, bring people on. Everybody think they smart. Everybody think they good at categories. I'm like, all right, y'all, we're gonna create a room. Categories, come on in. Bring your pen and your paper. Let's get it in. So you're gonna win.
You can do spades.
You can do So it's just like
Yeah, like when I started doing, I do Movie Monday.
I saw that. Yeah.
So we watch a whole movie. I stream the whole movie. And then I comment and I do comedic, commentary on the movie as we watch the whole movie, and people love it. You know what I'm saying?
That's in a room. That's not watch party. That's room.
No. Okay, so I use StreamYard.
Okay.
Yes, I use StreamYard because you can share your screen, or you can share apps. So I play the movie in QuickTime. And I share QuickTime. So, and then I have a soundboard. So I run the sound through the soundboard. So they getting the same sound.
Yeah, that's what I was trying, because I tried to do that and I couldn't play the sound.
Right. Yeah, you gotta find all them nuances out, man. It's so bad. Like the delay on this right now is like 10 seconds. So like we talking right now live, but they're not getting it till 10 seconds later. That's why I don't even go on there and look at it, because the comments that they're talking about is 10 minutes ago, our conversation 10 seconds ago.
So you see, run it through a soundboard.
StreamYard lets you do editing in the back, and it lets you get real-time comments and stuff. It's pretty clean.
And you just did Baby Boy on, was it Tuesday? I mean Monday.
Yeah, I did Baby Boy Monday. Last Monday we did Let's Do It Again.
Yeah.
And and it's just, but the thing about it is people at the house, so they just looking for stuff to do.
Yeah.
So And like every episode, I'm averaging at least 600 to 700 views per episode, per movie. See what I'm saying? And I literally have people will go back and watch the movie through my page later on. See what I'm saying? So it's just we just got to think of, like you say, it's a new day and time. We just got to figure out how to still be in our lane with everything that's going on, and it's ways to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's ways to do it. You just gotta do them.
You just gotta do it. And I said, I mean, I've posted more clips of my comedy than I've ever have over these last 2 months.
I used to be hesitant to do that. Now I'm like, just let it fly. You know what I mean?
I'm throwing it out there because I don't really want to do them jokes no more. I'm like, yeah, y'all can have them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
clip your
do that too.
Clip your crowd work.
Right.
Because it's more organic to the actual place you're at.
Right. And that's my plan too. When I go back on the road, it's gonna be filmed all, and I'm gonna have at least 5 or 6 minutes of crowd work that I'm gonna do, and I'm just going to use that, throw it out there.
Because it's just like Dry Bar, like I'm seeing everything. Like I got my Joke Dealers Inc. And like I did the interview with you, the Hot Five.
That Hot Five is dope, bro. That's dope. That's dope.
And what it is the same piece. I'm ripping the content because the interview itself was 10, 15 minutes that I posted, but our full interview was like 45 minutes.
Right.
When it hits the podcast, then it's going to residuate and I'll have marketing dollars. You guys are on there as writers. So that check comes through, you get a check. And it's like, because that's how the content is supposed to carry. So in order for us to, I feel like this, the debt to income ratio for Black comedians, that's our hardest problem. Our money's not coming in as fast, and we're not getting as many marketing and sponsorship money don't come as fast to us. So we're at the gig. Now, if you have business where your tax write-off and all this other stuff, then you sit good. Like my merchandise has held me down, and I got a couple of downloads that were just kicking money because people were home. So I'm just like, wow, let me add more stuff. But the majority of the time, we could do businesses like this. Like we sit down and be like, yo, I don't have to say nothing. I have no problem with sitting back, writing, and y'all produce it. I have no problem with that. Everybody, some cats, well, you guys see my face. Nah, man, I'll take a quiet writing credit and a hot minute. And just let me trying to get it.
Yeah, let me tell you, that's another thing. This is why I always tell young in the game comics, not necessarily young in the age, is you got to be prepared to do everything that fall up under this comedy umbrella. And you gotta be able to do it. Like I wrote for 2 seasons of Ricky Smiley's show. I did punch-up writing for Bobcat Films. See what I'm saying? And this is all stuff that's behind the scenes stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the writers for Rodney when he hosted Off the Chain. You know what I'm saying? But it's stuff like Hank saying that nobody's seen me doing. You know what I'm saying? But I still got them checks.
You got them
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I still got them checks, and that's the thing about it is sometimes you gotta come in the back door to be invited to the front door.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So you just never know.
And some people, some people can't do it because they can't humble themselves. Like they don't see themselves in that lane.
Right.
And sometimes you overstep or you miss out on a blessing or an opportunity because you're not getting the shine you feel like you deserve.
But cats are scared of failure. This is a scared of failure business. Like nobody wants to go in a room and then they're like, oh, I didn't sell no tickets. Dude, one thing you didn't understand that they booked you in here and nobody else was getting booked in here. You know what I mean? Like me and Bliss, we did a show in Philly. Yeah. And it was good numbers for Wednesday, right?
Right.
And they were like, and I was like, I wasn't tripping at all. Because you know what? They don't put a lot of Black faces in the Helium in Philly. That's right. So I got the Helium. Let's get this. Yeah. I was excited about it. But what it does is when I put up promo advertisement, somebody say, what shows have you done? I've done Philly Helium. Oh, okay. Helium is a brand that's connected to LOL in San Antonio.
Right.
Some other, once you go in there and they say, oh, you did it? Yeah. That's what got me Sacramento. That's what got me all over.
New Jersey. It's a Helium in New Jersey. They just opened a new one in Cali. So yeah, and they there. Yep.
And so once you go in their system, they pull it up. Oh, so what was your deal? Oh, we see you had a deal. Do you want that same 70-30? No, you know what? That'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Because you already in the system. Keep going.
Yeah.
Like I got a Live Nation ticket. That was my drive. I didn't care what the numbers did. If I could do 80 people on a Thursday or Wednesday in Sacramento, that's better than they probably were doing, and they don't even know who I am. I don't have no big movie credits, but I went in there, 80 tickets sold. Then they see all my demographics standing in line and take a picture with me. They're like, oh, well, what? We didn't do no promo for him. So we had put him on the radio. We could have packed this out.
Right.
Then we could have ate. That's cool though.
Right.
I'm on a Live Nation ticket. Once you get on a Live Nation ticket, that goes into a database system. So when you call them again, you just like I've done shows with you before. She pull it up, boom. Oh yeah, you did do a show with her, and it has all the information on it. The conversation is done. So
I need to call Live Nation. I did 3 shows with them.
That's bad because you know what they're into a when you in a database, man, you in a database.
Yeah, real.
Right. Database is all about numbers. And you get in there and you just like, hey, just like your podcast and stuff, bro. I start grooming people to be like, yo, my show's coming to your city. I say, and I ain't on tour. I know I'm not coming to your city no time soon, but I say.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's all about, you know, I gotta get people that come on, like they'll come on. They say, when you coming back to this? When you coming back to that? Because they remember a show that you did. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you always got a base of people that want you to come back to a certain area. You know what I mean? But I mean, I will say this. I wouldn't feel right if we didn't discuss the fact that we're on here. We didn't discuss the climate of what's going on right now within society and us having the same story happen over and over and over again. And the frustration I have is continuously trying to argue. I'm done arguing with people. I'm done trying to convince people what's right and what's wrong. I'm no longer on the side of this argument where I'm trying to convince a white person on why it's a problem. I'm done. I'm not explaining it no more. I'm not trying to be friendly. I'm unapologetically black right now. Mm-hmm. And it's not my job to make you feel comfortable about anything because I don't feel comfortable when I walk out my house every day.
Facts.
Yeah, let me tell you, I got a different thought process about this. Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan of us saying we want them to give us equality. I'm not a fan of that because I don't think it's theirs to give. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm not a fan of waiting or the mindset that white people can ordain us our equality. No, damn it, it's ours.
Right.
Walk around with your chest poked out, and we demand it, and we do the things to show that you got to respect us. I.e., we literally tell candidates, you know what? You don't care about us. I tell you what, you're fired. How about
it's
that?
It's your last term.
You're fired, and we should be able to literally look a candidate in the face and say, hey, you know what? You didn't stand up when this officer killed so and so. You're fired. See, because right. I personally think we have way more power than we tapping into.
Yes,
we
sir.
have way more power than what we using. So I just don't subscribe to the narrative that we have to wait for white people to get on board to give us this power. Right. I just don't think we're using it. I think it's the equivalent to Superman. Only thing he do is fly, but he never used the superpower to lift nothing, anything like that. And I think that's what we have. So that's my thing. I'm not apologizing. I'm like you. I'm not apologizing for being black or anything, but I'm on some to hell with them.
Right.
We can do everything we need to do and want to do. We can do it. We don't need them to get on board. We can do all of that.
Right.
So that's where I'm at.
That's how I'm partially on board because that's how I feel. Like I grew up in Massachusetts, so like I'm used to being the only M&M in the milk bowl. I walk in a room, but one thing I don't tap dance and coon and do all this to fit in. I'm on TV with white ladies talking about issues. I don't get on there and be like, don't be scared of me. That's not how I talk. That's not how I carry myself. My father's an engineer at Smith & Wesson. Been making guns 49 years. Is from Americus, Georgia. Mother's from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. They told me, look, you go in a room and get what you want. Let them have a problem with your color. That's their problem. Racism doesn't belong to us. Racism is theirs. It's their issue for them to deal with. When we go in a room and we start pandering, they see the pandering and they give us the least of it. And the thing is, we got to go in the room and ask for what exactly is what we want. Yep. And we control more than we, come on, if you look at what's going on, Instagram was going to crash if DJ Nice wasn't DJing. Then the verses came up. Then the verses this and this, verses like Lav say, they should have been on a website, on their own website, getting them downloads instead of giving that botched up stuff to Instagram.
And
yep. What it was just set Instagram's algorithm to learn how to make money off us better. And that's all they did. All these kids doing TikTok. When I go to talk to kids in schools, career day, I don't do no comedy. They be like, and be flooded because they think I'm gonna joke with them. I'm like, I'm sorry, young man, young woman, y'all got the wrong little career day. I said, because one, I'm gonna dispel everything in here about y'all being funny. I'll grab a kid who think he's the funniest kid in the class. I count him in. 5'4", yo, you see him in the lunchroom, you see him in Walmart. He was on your bus today. Give it up for whatever his name is. He's standing there. He ain't got nothing to say. I'm like, so now you understand that comedy is a job.
Right.
That's bullying.
You make stuff viral overnight, but you don't own your name. So you could go do a TikTok and it'll go to 3 million views, and then somebody .com'd your name, they resold it, and they making t-shirts with you on it. Now y'all stop jumping on these social medias. I'm gonna show you. Go get your name for 99 cents. Own your name, little sister. Own your name, little
Comedian Live Love LLC.
You get what I'm saying, though? And I tell them, own your name. Do that, because in the long run, everything that's branded comes through y'all. Y'all got people wearing NASA shirts, doing all kinds of stuff. Kids are made Crocs money. Black kids,
Crocs. Money they done came back out. They done came. Like the Crocs was about to fold, and then somebody said they was popular again, and now all of a sudden you can't. They can't keep them stopped. Because black kids is wearing Crocs.
Right. So I don't walk around. I'm not walking around angry with white people. And then with the cops, that is an easy fix. Make cops have malpractice insurance, just like doctors. So if you ain't following procedure and you hurt or kill somebody, we come and sue you directly. We mess up your family. We take your pension directly. Ain't no blue machine behind you to fix it up and patch it, because they protecting their procedure and how they do stuff. If we see a cop that's wrong, then the whole system's messed up. No, you want to be a cop because you was, I was bullied in school. Now I'm gonna start beating up on black people because I got a badge. Malpractice insurance. So when you handle me wrong, you'll think about pulling out your taser and just tasing my kid because, you was nervous. Well, your procedure says that you were supposed to do X, Y, and Z. Did you follow procedure? No. Okay, my lawyer is going to take your pension and your insurance is what, 1.5? Thank you so much. So good luck trying to find another job, because that's on your record. You were sued and you don't have malpractice insurance because you can't afford another because they're not going to insure you. We ain't got work.
And Hank wife got her new Tesla from that.
Hell, hey, Zach, who want one? Y'all want one? Y'all think about one. Pull up on them.
I do.
Because it's like he's saying, like our minds, if we can handle the struggle of what it was for us to just pick ourselves up every time without the handout, what handout are we expecting? Right. All we have to do, like everybody's like, I'm mad. Okay, so all of us got numbers now. There's cats that got millions of followers. This is a time where you get a petition put on your social media and get those emails in that database. So when you get a representative to come through that has something that's going to hold us down, you just dump 1 million signatures and emails right on that bill.
Right.
And it goes right through the Congress like that. You ain't got to worry about it. Then the numbers show. The numbers, the money. Hey, everybody give me 99 cents. We're going to put, you got 4.5 million followers. What's 2 million people giving you 99 cents? Now you got $2 million to push something through. You can buy a senator, you can buy a congressman, but no, ain't nobody thinking like that. Everybody like, I'm gonna go get my gun. Yeah, everybody got guns. They got satellites that can put on the top of our head. The thing is, we've been dancing and doing the same conversation. My wife was like, you wanna go to the protest? I'm like, why? So we could be in danger? I said, anything pop off? And I said, I gotta run down the street. I ain't been in Orange Theory in the last 4 months.
And he be wheezing. Like, my chest burning.
I'm gonna lay down here. Don't lay down. They're gonna have to drag me into the cop car because I can't.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
But so look, but a lot of what you spitting, right? So I'm just taking it all in, man. All three of y'all really was spitting just now. But a lot of what you spitting is common sense to us.
Yeah.
And common sense ain't common as we're seeing and watching, play out before our eyes. So that's the difficult part, man. If we could some way retrain our people to stop falling for the okie doke and drop these lessons on them, in the same way in the songs. Like, I ain't never sold or cooked crack, but I know how to do it because it's a soundtrack for it. If we could reproduce a soundtrack to our culture and our existence and put those jewels and those gems in there, I think, we could get a little bit further. But, a lot of us asleep at the wheel. And we fall for the okie doke. Yeah. So, how do you beat that?
Now you got a platform, Lazy. Like, you actually on the Sirius. Like, how often are you on Sirius now?
So I'm on Karen Hunter Show, Urban View 126 every Friday from 3 to 6.
That's hot.
And it's fun. It was, a life-changing situation, and I love to do it. Absolutely free. But what it did for me, it put me in front of a different audience. Like, the talk radio audience is just a whole different audience. Right. And then I'm paying for it. That's a whole nother audience. Mm-hmm. So it's like, that if I'm paying to listen to talk, I got some sense. So, right. In some regard, it's preaching to the choir, to that audience, because that audience is tied in, it's activated, it's clued in, all well and good. I'm not mad at that, but it's like, I just that's not necessarily the platform that's going to hit the person that needs to hear what I'm saying.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's going to hit the person that gets it.
Right.
We got to find a way to cross those channels and get those messages out to the people that need to hear it. Like, even with our social media, right? If I'm Twitter, Facebook, and doing all that all day, every day, and I'm getting yes and liked and reposted, that's people that know me. They get it already.
Right.
Yeah.
How do we get to those people that don't get it? That's the hook.
Right. Yeah. I think, you're right, but I think it's a fine balance. Like, I've had, throughout the course of what was going on, what is going on, I've had two experiences. I've had experiences of having a conversation with somebody who just don't get it and clearly don't get it. Mm-hmm. But then I had a conversation with somebody who seemed to not be getting it, but gave me a call today. Was like, yo, you know what? I thought about the stuff you were saying yesterday. And you know what? I liked some of the stuff you were saying, and you know what? You changed my mind. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it is. You might talk to 80 people, and then out of 80 people, you might change the mind of one person.
Yeah.
And that's cool. But I always tell people all the time, like with the radio show and the podcast, I tell people all the time, because I debate, but my thing is always, I'm never trying to change your mind. You grown.
Yeah.
So you have been raised to be whoever you are already. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm always trying to give you perspective. And then once I give you perspective from a different angle that's contrary to your perspective, all I ask is that you think about it. Mm-hmm. And you might think about it and then still say the hell with you. And that's fine. But when the day comes that you realize that Lav might have been right, you can say, dang, I wish I'd have listened to Lav 5 years ago or 2 years ago. That's all it, because and then you might find out 2 years from now, I was wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But so I want you to be, all I want is people to be consistent. That's all I ever have asked for people.
Yeah.
Consistency.
We're so confused. It's like,
yes, exactly.
Getting information, like the whole blackout screen. Like, I was like, okay, I looked around who was doing the blackout screen. Then I asked a couple of cats, I'm like, what is it about?
Well, where did it come from? That was my first question.
Yeah. And I'm like, so was it for us? Who's it for? And I was like, okay, I get it. But we never do anything in solidarity. You know what I mean?
Never. Because once something comes up, the idea comes up, you got the naysayers that's gonna come out the peanut gallery is going to come out and always have something against what's going on, right? Then you're going to have somebody that has a better idea, or nah, this is what we really need to do. You know, stuff like that. Like the whole protest thing, like when you protest, and what my idea around it was always the black people that are dying is random. It's random. Like it's never, you don't know who's going to get killed. You don't know the circumstances behind it, but somebody's family's affected, somebody's community's affected, and it's unnecessary, right? And I felt like this. Since we are such a powerful being and an entity as a black unit in our black dollar count, why don't we just pick a corporation randomly to boycott, right? And hurt their pockets. And they're like, why? Why? Because you didn't do anything about it. Well, we didn't have anything to do about it. Well, that man didn't have anything about it dying, but he had to die, right?
That's exactly.
It happened in Minnesota, right? It happened in Minnesota. What's the biggest corporation in Minnesota? Target. Yeah. You know what? Yo, we ain't messing with Target for a whole year. Target gonna be like, why? I don't know, Target. I'm sorry. Maybe it's something you could do about it, but right now we ain't messing with y'all. Right. Then all of a sudden, Target is like, what we got to do with that? Breonna Taylor, she died in where? Louisville. Yep. What's the biggest thing in Louisville? Yum Brands. What's Yum Brands? Taco Bell, KFC. We ain't messing with y'all for a year. Right. What we do? Nothing. And guess what? Y'all gonna pay for it. That might cause a bigger issue, but black people gonna be like, me, no KFC, Target? Nah, I can't rock with y'all on that. Why not?
I need that donut fried chicken sandwich. I need that.
You don't. You understand what I'm saying? You don't. And the thing about it is, if we got together as a unit and said, every month we gonna pick a corporation not to rock with, and they're gonna be like, but we didn't do anything. Neither did George Floyd. He didn't do nothing.
Right. See. Let me tell you, Jay. I got sort of the same game plan, but my game plan is this: I would love to see us to come together and pick two big dog senators, one Democrat, one Republican, and we say, guess what? You're getting ready to lose your job this year, and we fire them. And why? It don't matter whether we agree or disagree with your platform. It's simply a show of power to let you know that we will come together and fire your behind if you do not do the work of the people. Mm-hmm, and we come together and we fire. And I'm talking about a big dog like a Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? We fire a big dog and we straight fired him.
And we say we fired him. Like we
and that's it. We
get shirts and everything.
Like I fired Mitch McConnell.
And we let him know there's nothing you can do to stop this. You can't pander to us. You can't do that. Well, why you won't listen to reason? The same way that cop didn't listen to reason when he had his knee.
Exactly.
On hashtag Rich, you fired.
Exactly.
But let me unpack that though. So in that instance, in those markets, with
you know he do talk radio because he said, "Let me unpack."
Nah.
I did peep that. I'm gonna use that on my podcast though. Go ahead.
Okay, Lamont. He was like, "Oh, I understand what you're saying."
Yeah.
So let me unpack that real quick.
But if it's in a market or a state or region where we don't have the numbers, can that still work?
Yeah. Let me tell you. Right. First of all, we whatever we do from a political standpoint, we definitely gonna have to have some white adversaries. Yeah. Just for the simple fact that we just don't have the numbers in this country.
Right.
But the problem is we have enough numbers to swing a vote. See what I'm saying? That's what we have.
Yeah.
Like in any given state, if the majority of black people voted for a particular candidate, that candidate would win. Mm-hmm. So that's what we have. We have swing power. That's what I mean when I say black people don't realize the power that we have. We have swing power in almost every state, especially in local elections, which is, believe it or not, a senator is a federal person, but they're really a local election because they're locally obligated to your state. See what I'm saying? So you'll have a senator who can win or lose an election by like 4,000 votes.
Yeah. Right.
By 2,000 votes. That's a neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent here in Atlanta. 10,000 people. That's the equivalent to me making sure everybody in Decatur vote. It's that simple. In the whole state, it don't matter. If I get everybody in Decatur to vote, we can make a senator lose his or her job.
Yep.
See what I'm
Right.
saying?
You
that's what I'm saying.
You can do a TikTok.
I got it.
So crazy. You can do a TikTok and make it trend that we don't want this dude no more. And you'll have white kids going, get rid of Mitch.
Yeah.
And kids would be like, Mom, white kids would be at home talking about, don't vote for him because all my friends, they think we control so much culture, but we never think of all the tools we have.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Be safe.
Right.
So
yeah, man. That's a dope conversation, man. I will say this. I won't have to bring y'all back on. I think this group here is lethal, man. I like this group, man. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a lot of feedback on this, man. But I appreciate y'all joining in.
But I know I'm gonna have my microphone and my backdrop.
Me too.
Yeah, I know, right? That I feel naked back here. Look at my joints, Lord. Look, I got it.
I'm gonna make me a cup of tea so I can be like, that was great.
Yeah, let me unpack that. Let me unpack that.
Tiny Closet Studios, baby.
No doubt, yo.
Command center. This is a command.
Like y'all got air conditioning. You got a tech standing there. There's a tech person right there.
I got a whole PA staff over here.
Like,
hey,
look at that.
So before we sign out, man, I want y'all all to shout out y'all social media, man, just in case anybody's watching and they want to be able to find y'all, man. So,
all right.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead, Lab.
Okay. Everything's Comedian Lab Love. I'm like Hank. I believe in branding, so everything's Comedian Lab Love. Lab Love is LAVLUV. The Instagram is Comedian Lab Love 1. That's the only difference. And the only reason why that's Comedian Lab Love 1 because I forgot the password to the first one. But everything's comedian. Everything's comedian. The website is comedianlablove.com. The YouTube channel is comedianlablove.com. Everything's comedianlablove.com. Holla.
No doubt. All right, Hank.
Oh, yo, Hank Denson Comedy. Everything's Hank Denson Comedy. If you can't do that, just remember, pay teachers more money. Hashtag, put it in your search engine. It'll bring you to everything I touch. Pay teachers more money. Why? Because teachers matter, kids matter most.
No doubt.
Nice.
And Lamont, man, knock it out.
You can find me on Cash App. And so what I'm doing is, man, everything we do here at Tiny Closet Studios is viewer supported. It's viewer supported. So we're asking for $1. And, if we've been on for an hour, if I get 12 people to give $1, that's $12 an hour. That's more than I'll make it work. So it's $sign Lamont King 06. Lamont King 06. But social media is Mr. Lamont King. So I'm everywhere.
You ain't going to need it now. We know how to get unemployment. Come on, let's wrap this up.
How to put you in the game.
Yeah. Hey, look, in fact, next time you talk to me, talk to people. I got checks get ready to come in. I don't even.
I'm gonna hit you about the podcasting though too, because I got 3 up and I'm trying to navigate, how to that whole thing. Yeah.
And let me say something. You know how I learned that? I learned that by getting in the room and listening to people that didn't look like me talk about what they were trying to develop. And how do you do it? And how is it going? And I just write it down and I go research it because a lot of stuff, they're not going to put us in that game. And because we dominate majority of all the games that we touch. So just see it as, we got to be different about our thinking. Some stuff that Lab was saying about the way we can do things. We have to, man. It's 2020. We can no longer keep doing the same song and dance because we're going to leave 100,000. How many of us left this planet with the COVID? So, and how many more will leave after that? So we ain't got time to play around with what we control no more. We don't.
No doubt. Good words, man. Yo, fellas, appreciate y'all, man. I'm going to be on contact with y'all individually. I also need guests on my podcast, so all 3 of y'all going to be on there. So
already.
Just wait for it. All right.
Let me know.
All right, man. Peace.
Right.
Take care.
All right, later.